Hey guys, FLW Tour Pro Jacob Wheeler here. Today I want to give you guys a recap on how Eufaula went. Last time we talked, we were sitting about 74th place after the first day. It was a tough first day. Really, the whole tournament, the lake was really fishing tough. Whether you went shallow or whether you went deep, it was hard to get bites regardless of where you went. And so during my practice, I was getting 3 or 4 bites a day, and I decided, so you know what, I'm going to go and start looking a little bit shallower and maybe look for a few old, bed fish that were up there, late spawners. And there was actually quite a few. The last day of practice I found about 25 fish on the beds and had about 4 or 5 that I felt like if I could catch the 5 that I saw, and they were really easy to catch. They seemed, that day they were really easy to catch, and I felt like I could catch a pretty decent bag that first day. But, one thing about it was there was a lot of grass, and it was warming up. These fish wanted to go deeper, but there just wasn't a lot of fish out there, and there wasn't a lot of fish up, and so they were scattered all over the lake. They wanted to go deep. During that off day, it got really warm, and those fish started pulling out, and so that really hurt me. That first day of the tournament, there was a shad spawn also going on. And what a shad spawn is, to the viewers, you guys don't know what a shad spawn is, it's basically when the shad goes shallow in the spring. Normally it's on a new moon or a full moon also, a lot of times in May. Water hits about 65 degrees, the shad will actually go up maybe in the grass. They'll do it on rocks, they'll do it on docks, and you'll see them actually together. And when you start reeling a spinnerbait, and a lot of times it happens in the mornings, spinnerbait, swim jig, stuff like that, the baits that really look like a shad are the baits that do really well. And not all shad spawns or places where the shad are spawning have bass on them, but a lot of time this time of year, it is super key to fish that. And so there was a shad spawn going out really early in the morning, but we were actually launching an hour later. So it made it a little difficult. We only had about 20 or 30 minutes to really capitalize on that shad spawn. First day of the tournament, I caught 5 fish in the morning throwing a white swim jig. And so this is just a white swim jig with a Trigger X slop popper in the Shiner color. And so it just really made a bait that looked like a shad, and that was super important, super key to get a few bites. And then I went to those bed fish and they just weren't there, so I had to make some adjustments. I started looking. I had 1 6-pounder that I couldn't catch off the bed, which she just wouldn't stay on, and it was pretty tough. So the second day I decided, to scrap all this. I enjoy throwing a frog, and there's a lot of shallow grass. I'm used to a little lake back home. It's called Geist Reservoir, and there's a lot of we call it Geist grass, or it's willow weed, and just this viney stuff. And I said, you know what? I'm going to pick up a frog, and I'm going to go shallow. This is actually the frog that I was throwing. It was just a snag-proof frog, little white belly, green top, and I caught him. I caught him a little bit better the second day. Moved up about 20 spots. Never caught any big ones. I had about 7 or 8 bites that day. Missed the biggest one I had. Actually, the hooks got caught up in the plastic of the frog. About a 3-pounder, which would have obviously got me inside that top 50. Ended up finishing 50, I think 57th or 56th in this tournament. Got a $4,000 check, which is not necessarily what you want, but it's nice to come home with a little bit of money and sort of get yourself positioned for the next tournament. Next tournament's on Grand Lake in Oklahoma, and that's going to be pretty much a deep fishing deal. I mean, there's going to be a lot of fish, shallow too, but I think that it's obviously going into that tournament, I know there's not a lot of aquatic vegetation, which keeps those fish shallow a lot of times. So it'll be docks, there'll be some fish in the backs of the creeks, and there'll be some fish out deep. So we're going to be looking forward to that. Thanks a lot for following us, and we enjoy doing these videos. It's a lot of fun for to show all my friends and family and fans just to sort of get into what I do and what I love to do. So keep following us, and we'll check in here a little bit later.